How's it going? Thought I'd come in here for at least an hour. Write out some homework anyway. Yo, yo, yo. Goodness. Okay. Try to get rid of that. Come over to this and yo. It's been a minute since we just had one of these one-on-ones. So you have my full undivided attention. Well, I mean, partially anyway. So we bring this moment to you, so you can say what you must, say what you need to. Let me I'm gonna borrow another screen here really fast. I want to get the chat box. I'll throw that in here just in case anybody wants to come in and say things. There we go. Trying to center it right now. God, if that's not center, I don't know what is. So, why are we here? It's a deep question, huh? Why is anything? If I could stop this. Shoo. Sure, I guess we should start off with a little prayer, huh? All right, I'll say it. Nobody jump up there. That's fine. But dear Lord, your Father, thank you for giving us your only so we may be our best. But please, give us the strength, the courage, and the knowledge to do what we must do every single day. Please, Lord, send your blessings to those that are sending you their prayers. Amen. Why are we here? Why am I here? Why aren't you here? Why is anything here? What is this all about? Am I here for a purpose? Is there a meaning? We dive into that more. Why should we just do? No, some could look at that from a ethical or philosophical perspective and really not know what to make of it. I'm not saying I have the answers or any answer at all. But I like to believe we discover the purpose along the way. And we have the liberty to realize and create whatever that is, or destroy it. You have a hand to create and a hand to destroy. And the choice what you want to do with is completely up to you. I'm not advocating that you go and do bad things naturally. You know, people do. It's not like it's unheard of. Again, not advocating that you should. No, there's a good path to walk, and I highly encourage and am advocating that. You know, there's you know, the ends don't justify the means, but it sure does guide you to, you know, some kind of salvation and making the correct choices along that path. Especially if you aren't certain. Let me make this bigger. There you go. That didn't do anything. All right. Especially if you don't know what that is now. Yeah, and if you're like, oh, I've already tried the religious thing, it's not for me. No, you don't have to follow a religion to know that the choices you're making could not just harm yourself, but harm somebody else that is completely innocent. No, and even if they are deserving of it, there's a system in place that I necessarily do not agree with entirely, but there's a system in place that is set out to legally deal with insubordination. You know, and it's getting harder every single day to try to hide. You know, there's a camera and a microphone everywhere. Now you think you're not being, or can't be, not necessarily that someone's watching every day. I mean, you know, some of us put ourselves out there in hopes to be found. Other people try to hide it, but you know, it's easy to find the prick in the stack of the people following and obeying what they're supposed to be doing. You kind of stand out these days. You know, you think you're being sneaky and you're not. It's obvious. You know, just your mannerisms, your body language. It's evident. It's obvious. And there's AI and computers that can read your body language and cast algorithms out there to know where you are routinely, and if you're not in a particular location where you typically are, it red flags it and you become, you know, on alert status. You know, but the system's like good enough to know, like, oh, okay, he's got like a one-off appointment at a doctor and that's why he's in this location. You know, the global positioning system is real. You know, we got these things that are in staring out to stars like light years away. You think you can't turn a few of those around and look at the planet and they could see the hairs growing on the back of your hand? You're crazy. You're crazy not to think you're gonna get away with anything these days. They don't need men to drive helicopters anymore. They could just drone those up these days. Have a bunch of little nanobots flying around and watching you. They're saying, like, you know, the path to want to choose to do the wrong thing is becoming ever more impossible to do, especially the harder justice system that is right now is buckling down with like RoboCops on the street. You know, like are shying away more from having a sense of morality or humanity in them, and you could see like the issues that it's causing today. And I can't help but think in the next 20 years to remedy that issue, they're going to just replace like people with robots, so that you can't say like, oh, a human, it was there's like a bias or something involved in the decision making on why a person was apprehended. You know, it's going to be a flawless system. You know, but yeah, just don't try. If you are thinking about going down the path of bad, just don't. It's not too late to like turn the page to be a better person at any point in time. You know, and I'm saying there's absolutely like a way to do it. It's written, our brother, our Heavenly Father came down in the flesh and literally died for all your sins. All you have to do is repent and realize that. Die to your old sin, die to your old ways, and just start being a better person and get some help. Now, if you need it, if you're just like me and you're just confused, it's like hard to swallow the fruit. It's hard to accept the truth. Then, I'm right there with you. It's almost too real. It's almost too easy. It's hard to want it. It's almost feel like you should try harder at achieving it. There are belief systems out there that say you have to do extra to be accepted. I'm, wise enough to just accept the facts and not have to fight it. But, that the hint of curiosity is still always there. Like, it's almost too easy, It leaves me ponder and wonder, like, all the other things out there. And it's always that, like, bit of curiosity, that wonderment, and that freedom to desire, like, oh, what's the other stories like, or that has caused me to shy away from my belief now and always come back to it. Jesus' arms are nailed at his sides, always welcoming you to come to him. He loves you that much that he was willing to sacrifice himself, even though he knew it was written. It was prophesied that it would happen. He accepted it. He didn't try to run and hide, and then they find him, and then they beat him down. No, he just went willingly. Because he knew it was him or everybody else. Now, I can't imagine, Jesus was around today, how that story would have played out. I feel like corruption is just so palatable into today's world that it's hard to escape it. It's hard to know or find where reality and truth is, and where's the deceptor. Who is this grand deceptor? And I can't help but think it's each other. I could be telling you this right now, and you're like, oh, is this he could be deceiving me right now. I'm just telling you how I personally feel about all this, like letting you know I'm just another person that's tangled in this crazy web of life where all these things are happening at the same time and nothing's happening right now. And that there is a way. There's a way. There's a way, and I accept it 100%. It's just because I feel like at any point in time, like especially these days, this could be the final moment. You never know. And it doesn't have to be on like a grand scale, like a corrupt world leader or somewhere like pushing a crazy button somewhere that does something stupid. It could just be as simple as going to bed and God saying, it's your time. Because you belong in heaven right now. God's only hope was that somewhere between you going to sleep at night and that moment you had repented and vowed that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior, and had a thought in your mind that perhaps, just perhaps, he is the one. Thinking all outside of that, because I gotta hit everybody that's just like not buying into a dude, even though it's all written, it's historically accurate, tracked and everything else. Like what it is that you need to do to find inner peace. Because can admit that the number in the Bible that says the amount of people that get into heaven is not everyone.
there's a number for that. So I gotta like give everybody that's like, okay, I don't want to believe. This is for you. Because I believe you should also find some inner peace. I'm just telling you, like, there's a way. Here's how you can potentially do it. All right, here's the life hack. Immediately eliminate the things that you do not need in your life. Just stop doing them permanently. That's could be like anything from alcohol to narcotics to sex to lying to staying up way too late to waking up maybe too early to working extra hard at work. That extra thing that you are doing, or the multiple extra things that you're doing to just prove to somebody, even if it's yourself, if it's killing you, it is not worth doing. Absolutely not. I don't believe that at all. I'm not saying you should like not try ever and be a decent individual and try to be a contributor into society, but the moment like you feel like, oh, I want to be a contributing society member, but I need to do here and I need to be here, and then it's overwhelming and you can't just, it prevents you from sleeping at night or going to showing up at your 9 to 5 every day to do what you have to do to survive. Like the moment it's too much, take a break from it. A small break, maybe a month, maybe a week, maybe just that day. Take a break for yourself. Do it for you. You need to, because you can't, it's hard to help other people if you're cutting off your own legs to give it to somebody else. It's hard to give multiple people the shirt off your back if you're already giving it to somebody else. And also stay warm yourself. That's all I'm getting at. Obviously, if you are repeating a process over and over again, expecting a different outcome, but you have not changed any bit of what you put into it, that's fine, as long as that keeps you sane. But for anybody I know, that would absolutely not be creating sanity. That would be tearing somebody apart inside and out, from one way or the other, from one hole or another, from one end to the other, completely in half. Change something. For you to be ignorant that there is nothing you can do is wrong. You are just being defiant that you are comfortable with the suck. And I'm fine with embracing the suck. That is a topic for a different day, because sometimes we just have to embrace the suck. Because it's all temporary. Let me tell you that right now. Unless you are perpetuating it, unless it's something that you are manifesting. Like, oh, I need this. You don't. You do not need this. So why are we here? Why are you here? For the short period of time, in what feels like infinity. I don't think we'll absolutely get that answer till the very end, but as long as you're doing the bare minimum, I respect that. You're doing something, because there's a whole lot of people out there that don't want to do nothing. Now, if you could take a second to try to organize just your thoughts alone. Breathe. Take a minute to breathe. Just a minute. I'm not talking about hyperventilating. So if you're doing that right now, you better chill. Because it's okay. I promise you it's okay. There's nothing saying that you have to be a king or a queen. There's nothing saying that you have to be the one beneath the shit. And obviously somebody is always on either end of that spectrum, ain't they? But it doesn't have to be you, because either end of that spectrum, they come with their own problems. And I'll tell you right now, it might be a little bit easier for the person to crawl out from that shit than the person that's a king or a queen to accept all the things they potentially could be doing wrong at any given moment. You know, they can't really just I guess they can just quit. But, you know, they'll have a lot more people who hate them than the person that's actually crawling out of the gutter to, you know, pull himself up from the bootstraps to try and change. Like, you know this. You know, I don't believe we've been put on this planet for a purpose, particularly for a reason, other than to be loved and love each other and to see how far we can grow together. Call it an experiment of caring and endurance. You know, because we're put since the very beginning with a test before us at all times to try to separate us. But we have so much more in common than we do differences. We almost create the labels for what the things are around us so we could identify them, obviously. that helps. But the moment somebody has something that's different than yours, or its label is shaped a little bit different, but they do the exact same thing, obviously you're going to value the thing that you have better than them. If not, try to convince other people that it's better than yours too, so you yourself could obtain a label that you're better for some reason. I guess it's good to feel that you're loved by more people than other people, right? And how dare somebody share more affection than you? We don't want to look at it like it's affection and stealing attention from other people. You know, it's exactly what it is. We just put money next to that as well, because, you know, currently currency is the only thing that we see as a value and wealth in life. Obviously, it's not the things that you believe in, or you know, I would be one of the most wealthy people on this planet. You know, it's easy to value the things that we currently have if you just want to. And it's hard to accept that you don't have everything else in this world, because you don't. But that's the truth. You really have to accept what you have and use what you have right now. And there's some people out there that have a lot less than you do, and there's a lot more people out there that have everything that you don't. You know, if I could change one thing in this world, it would have to be the desire to want. Greed too much. Because there's like a maximum thing that we just absolutely need to survive. And it's hard to find happiness today with just that, because we always want to amount more. We've been poisoned and corrupted in this toxic society that you are nothing if you're just getting by. You're not living life if you are just surviving. You need to achieve all these other things. We're quick to think that the system back when this was all first established is the same it is today. But it is not. Because it's now impacting the system, trying to convert and help the people that are, you know, just working at basic, I call them base jobs, and adjusting their income so it could try to keep up with the cost of living. And it's breaking down these establishments. You know, unless they're like the top corporate dog, but even then, they're finding ways of cutting something somewhere to make up for that loss. Even if it's other jobs, and then you have more homeless people. It's freaking sad. So where do we come in? Like, what can we do? What is it that I can do? What is it that you can do? What is it that we can do right now to potentially redeem ourselves in the state that we're in right now. It's hard to, just have to, it's hard to say care less, but it's care less, not about each other, but about things. They're just things. You can't take it with you after you leave. You have to bear its weight with you wherever you go. It's almost these things own us. We don't own them. Trust me, I've been carrying around a lot of things, just almost like they have sentimental value. But it's things that people that are no longer in my life had, that I felt like I needed to bear the rest of the weight that they couldn't carry with them any longer. They're not on this planet anymore. And I felt like their burden was now my burden. Could I just let it go? Could I just throw it out? I've tried. There's a lot of things I did just let go because it was the only thing I had left of them. And it's almost like I severed off parts of my own emotion, my body, and cast them out, and they're gone now. Am I lighter? Yeah, absolutely. And they'll always be in my memory. But the aspect of feeling that much lighter, it makes it so much easier to move and do things that I know I need to do in this moment for my future self, for our future selves. Because I'm moving forward, not just for me. I sure hope that every single day, even though I'm trying to think of the word. Reluctant. It's not the correct word that I wanted to use, but even though I'm like every single day that I'm like, gotta grow today to try to help society that don't care about itself, I know that that end goal is just it's beautiful and it's worth it. That if I have to sacrifice just a moment of my time, even though I could be doing something else entirely that only benefits me, like maybe getting a level in a video game or completing a puzzle that looks really cool, like the box art, or hanging pictures on my wall, or painting a picture, like maybe somewhere in some other universe, those things would actually have some kind of value. And some would look at what I'm doing right now, like us having this moment is some type of methodic greed to it, that maybe the things that I'm earning from this are only to benefit me, when I promise you they are not. They're only, if I were to use any aspect of gain from doing what we're doing right now, it's only to help grow this more, maybe develop a team and a network to push out the message of one, the Lord Jesus Christ, not to be confused with any other specifically. All right. That, any other perspective of ethical relationship that you have through religion, because I believe it's better to believe in something than nothing at all, as long as it's creating goodness. And by goodness, I mean no harm to yourself or anybody around you. And then after that, after religion, it's definitely spiritual. And I only put spiritual after those other two because I have done the spiritual path, and eventually, I promise you, once you reach a state of nirvana, that you almost start to bear the weight of the entire universe, that it's on you. That is, and I don't want anybody to ever feel like that is a thing. Because once you've reached that state, it almost feels like you need a God. You wish your God were there, but you've reached a moment in your knowledge that God is inside of you, and it's no longer an external thing. Which, going back to it all in full circle, Jesus is in your heart. God is actually inside your heart. If God can be anywhere, omnipresent and omnipotent, absolutely, God is in your deepest thought. If you close every external hole in your body and you try to echo a thought inside of you and just projecting with your heart internally, you feel that God is right there this whole entire time. You've never been alone for a moment. And you know, that's the craziest part about it. I can't say crazy. The most miraculous part about it is that it's comforting because it's you. God made us in God's image. A loving, omnipresent, omni-knowing being is inside of us. Like, we already know what is right and wrong, but we choose to do other things. And I can tell you right now, it's maybe out of sheer curiosity or defiance, knowing that deep down inside, yeah, we're forgiven and it's okay. I could come back home at the end of the day. But don't, because you're creating a ripple. No different than my vocal waves are right now from where I'm sitting across the entire universe and back. And who that can affect and what you say and do. Your words are like powerful spells. And the things that you say and do can curse the things around you if you use them in a negative annotation. Condensation, condentation, constipation. Sorry, I'm rambling a bit. But yeah, you gotta be careful of the things that you do in this world, because the second that you do something out of spite or greed, you're literally taking that energy, because it's not just manifesting out of nothingness. You're taking that from somebody else that could absolutely use it in that particular moment to not fail for your own greed, and you're like coveting it, and you're like holding it close to you. You're like, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. I need this eventually. At some point in time, I need this, even though I don't need it right now. And you like put it to the side, and you lock it up, and you put it somewhere, and you'll like take some more. You'll take some more, because you'll be put in an opportunity where you have an infinite well of this energy, of this knowledge, and you'll just keep coveting it. Oh, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. I need this. This is for me. And then you might see somebody else that's in dire need of a little bit of that knowledge, because it'll help them just maybe get to the next day. And you just stare at them like, you're going to take my energy from me. How dare you? Why don't you do better? You selfish, greedy, taking other people's energy being you. But don't. I'm not saying go out of your way to look for these people, because I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of people out there that they're corrupt, and they'll take something from you just as fast as you, or slow as you've taken it from somebody else. Be very careful about who and what you do in this entire world. Like, be cautious as you take every step. I'm not saying, or I should say, be careful. Be careful, not too cautious. Just be careful, or at least be aware as you start to run with what you know and start spreading that information and that love. Just be very aware of the world around you that you're doing it in, because this world is on fire right now. It is because we're at a point in time where everybody has a giant voice and can make drastic changes in a negative way really fast without any repercussion, because we lack the just that we lack the realization that it affects you directly with the things you can do. And let's call it baby ugly. Some people could get away with it a lot better than others. And I'm not saying who we're pointing fingers, because it's situational. Depends where you're at, who you're alongside with, and the time. You know what I'm talking about. You immediately start to think about like all the different scenarios that could play out. Just based off of one thing, but think about all of them. Where you could be. This is a lot. Excuse me. Sear went down the wrong pipe. Ow. But yeah, as we're coming into like the later half of this hour, or yeah, the final stretch of this hour, I wanted to put it out there, see if anybody had any questions, comments, answers, or something to say themselves on the topic of, who am I? What are you? Why are we here? Where are we going? I'm trying not to bring up too much text right now to save time. And obviously, I did this spontaneously. That's why the platform's kind of the way it is right now. But I'm going to try to fix that in the future. See if we get something a little bit more crispy. Something else we could digest. Look a little bit more friendly. Because right now you come in here and you see this bar running across the sugar screen. It's kind of hard to understand exactly what's going on. But yeah, as much as I believe there's a lack of things in this world, there's somebody on the other end of that spectrum that has too much. And all the top leaders in the world are all banging their heads together and wondering, like, if anything we can do, how can we fix this? And at the same time, the same leaders want to choke each other out because they feel like they need to get to a point where they need to be more powerful to survive if something worse happens. So going back to the whole, I need more energy. Don't take that. That's my energy. You're not allowed to have that. In fact, get out of my way. I'm taking it from you. Crazy. This world's absolutely on fire right now. And I just want to let you know, if you're still sitting there wondering, how do I fix this? What should I do? Tell me, what's the answer? I'm telling you what the answer is. I've already given you that way forward. God's always inside of you. He's always been there. So we got to realize that when the things we say and do affect you just as much as they affect anybody else around you. Really go into it that we're not all in a situation where we have a moment of clairvoyance and know that, if I just do the right thing and I try to be a better person, everything will be okay. Because you're going to come across other people that are not as woke. You're going to come across a lot of people that are still stuck in cloud. And just know, when you come across these individuals, they might have some kind of attitude or aura to them that you could see and taste and feel. And the first thing it's going to want to do is make you just as toxic, because that's what it does. It's a contagious corruption that correlates between those individuals, because misery absolutely loves that company. Don't fall into it. Just know, hey, they might be dealing with some demons and they don't know or they know of, but lost their way because they got distracted because it's so easy to get distracted these days. And they might just need a reminder. They might just need you to bear with and help give them the positive energy, project the positivity to them. Because it might just be you being a better you, even if it's just a little bit, that helps change their rhythm and how they're dancing through the cosmos that day. That can also spread and help other people out. You never know who you're going to come across. And I'd only hope that me being nice to an individual, or every individual, honestly, that eventually that gets back to my family back home, or to somebody across the world that absolutely needs to let them know that everything's okay, and that they're loved. It's easy to bark and make fun of the whole fact that being redder and making a mockery of the topic, especially on Wednesday worship days. It's easy to just aha, why are you talking about this? Why do you even care? Just get good. Stop being bad. And that's not easy for everybody that has demons living inside of them. It's not easy to be undistracted or be just be consumed by the demons. Just let them take over. Just be bad. Just be bad. You're bad. And then it's the second you realize that you could get caught or in trouble. Oh man, does your butthole pucker up? Not as bad as you thought now, huh? Especially when you run into somebody badder than you. I'm telling you, we're in the age of fools. We are absolutely in the age of chaos and people just not caring. There's people out there. Not everybody's getting in heaven, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that spiritual path that you're walking, that I also walk, that I still kind of walk, is absolutely an answer to resolve a lot of the conflicts that you have on a daily basis of taking all the energy that you rip from other people to help them out and casting it back out into this world, because it's all energy. You can't get rid of that. You just got to push it back out. Get rid of it. Without having God there also to accept it and take that from you and heal you at the end of the day, knowing that absolutely everything's fine, to put your faith completely into God, to accept all that and bear it on your own, that is, I'm telling you, you're close, you're hot, you're almost there. Just know, I still accept that you, even though you're doing something. Well, listen, I'm telling you right now, if you're here, you gotta make a choice. But yeah, don't be bad. What time we have? We have half an hour. But gotta embrace the truth. So not too long ago, I talked about breathing. That helps. Look at it this way. Your thoughts are all inside you. When you breathe, you're introducing air and you're taking that moment. And you're separating the thoughts. You can see them individually. You can focus on the things that you need to as you're breathing. You're compartmentalizing your thoughts. You got to focus on a few things. Where is this going? Where am I right now? And you can only accept how you got here. The change starts with the right moment, right? This very moment, every single moment, not just a second ago, but right now. The time to make up your mind is never at that point, ain't it? You're like, oh, where do I sign up? It's right in right now, your heart, and in your mind. Transfer the thought from to your heart and mind. Just know it's you right now. You embrace the truth. Get a heart of wisdom. That's all we really need in this life. Everything else is a bonus. After you've done that, after you've found you in this moment, you could open up your eyes again and you immediately notice there's things that always can change that are around you. It's these external things that help. I can't say help. Help's wrong the way I'm going right now. Can help. That can help. But consume us. And you can feel the weight of them owning you. Start with the immediate radius around you. The first 6 feet. Is there something that I can change right now? Maybe you're lying in your bed. Can I try to make my bed every morning? Maybe not every morning, but once in a while. Pull the covers off. Let the mattress breathe. Put it back on. Change the sheets out. Maybe you just need to change your blankets. Maybe change out the little stuffed animal that's lying in your bed. Put a different animal there. Maybe you need to change which drawer your socks and underwear are in, because you've been, opening up that same set of drawers every time. Like, always thinking, oh, my socks and underwear would work better on the top drawer instead of the bottom. Or, start hanging your shirts up in the closet instead of having them all folded and scraggly inside the drawer. Maybe if they are all neat, scramble it up. Make a minor change. Obviously, keep the immediate area around you clean, organized, and introduce some kind of flowetry, because that's going to help with not just your thoughts and who you are, but the spiritual realm that exists on the astral plane around us, because the cosmos is always flowing around us. Our thoughts are not just internal. They're introduced externally. And, it's going to just help open your mind, not just your physical body, once you've cleaned up your act. And perhaps, if you're living in a very clean environment, maybe the things that you need to change are the things that you are introducing in your body. Maybe you're on your phone way too much. Maybe you're playing on that application for too many hours. Maybe the things that you are doing within those times may be negative. Start just being good, even if you have to fake it. Because I feel like, if you start to just pretend, it starts to become real, because you get in a habit and you start to like it. It's no different than the negative thing that you've introduced in your life that you don't want to let go of now because it's become a habit. It's very similar, but it's much healthier. Don't you want to be healthy? Don't you care about you? Don't you feel like it'd be greedy and selfish of you to not think that maybe if you help you, even if it's just for a day through the entire year, that's going to make a better you to help other people if that is your ultimate goal? Because I know deep down inside we all want to be a contributing member to society. And no, that does not always mean you have to be the best dancer or public influencer, have the right things to say all the time, or buy people, make sure everybody has toilet paper, whatever it is. Maybe it just means going out into the universe, into the world when you do, and be nice. Because wouldn't you, on your worst day, hope when you have to go out in this world, you have to, I gotta go pick up my medication, or, I need to go get this pizza right now, or whatever it is. And you hope that the one individual that you have to encounter, is nice. Even if it's so small, it's minuscule. You carry that sometimes forever, And, there's a lot more that we could talk about with that going forward. Like manifesting the energy between each other, or the relationship, rather, that you have with other people. So right now, I just want you to focus on how you can help you. How can I help myself? Right now, it's taking that breath. We'll work on everything else. And if you're ahead of the game, you're like, yeah, I got my act clean, I'm helping everybody else out. Remember, you too also have to breathe. It's good to take a breath sometimes. Separate those thoughts, and that alone will definitely help guide you. And no, maybe in one of those breaths, you'll have the light blossom inside you, and you'll feel God speak directly to you. But you have to welcome it. Don't ignore it. Don't push that down. Don't push that away. It's a great and warming feeling, knowing that you are loved. You're loved. Love, 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 love. So if you have the opportunity right now to tell somebody that's near you or next to you, across the world, maybe it's too late right now, but the next chance you can, just let them know. And it takes a second, even if it's by text message or sending a picture, or calling them if you want to chat for like a minute or so. Sorry. Let them know you love them. Maybe you were in a fight recently. Let them know that, hey, listen, you thought about it. I still might not like you in this moment, but I'm still thinking about it because there's a chemistry there that, if not, can be mended to work together in the future. It'll help you both go separately at a smoother pace. Yeah, and who's to know? Now, when you might meet up again, and you could depend on that other individual in that moment in time. Wouldn't it be much better if you still didn't have all those negative things that you were riding on and carrying that whole way? But it's so much easier to just forgive.
I carry a portable tape recorder with me wherever I go. And I've recorded the sounds that I hear.
I don't know. We're such an awkward track to come on right there. I carry a tape recorder with me wherever I go, and I record sounds. It's funny. Sometimes you gotta just relax. You know, everything in life ain't as serious as it has to be. And I always like to feel like
These recordings are my story.
it's humorous. Not that it's a joke or we're here as entertainment, but I don't think everything's as super serious as it needs to be. And I'd love to just tell the people that own me.
The rhythm is everywhere.
Sorry, I gotta...
If you listen, you can find it right beside you. If you listen, the rhythm is everywhere. If you listen, if you listen. Well, I feel sort of lonely.
Song's a mood. But anyway, I'm gonna close this out now. Yeah, unless there's anybody that's out there that has a question or wants to add something to it, the floor is all yours. I'll definitely open it up to you. As you know, this ain't about me entirely. It's just a platform where I'm casting the thought out there. And it's okay to not have to. Sometimes I like to just run in a room and be a fly in the wall too. And just digesting whatever is going on in that moment, I feel like I've gained some kind of way forward or knowledge or something. You know, knowledge is powerful, especially.
The music you hear is the music made by man.
Sorry, the knowledge is powerful, especially when you know what to do with it. I think we could see now that, you know, this Sunday's message, you know, reflected a lot on the things we discussed today. And I hope that, you know, going forward, we could utilize that as like a guide stone going forward. Maybe even create our own milestones depending on what's going on in that moment. Maybe somebody like wants to take the floor immediately and like bring up the things that are going on in their mind that day too. I'll support that 100%. Link to my Discord below. It's not a complete channel yet, but I'd love to know your thoughts. And maybe other people would as well. And again, just to be as transparent as possible, I'm fantastic. I'm feeling great. As lonely as I may always feel, I always know I'm never alone. There's always somebody out there that is going through something very similar as I do. And knowing I'm not alone with the turbulation that I'm enduring, it's comforting knowing that there is a way forward. There's help out there, and that I can help other people that have seen life through the same lens or about to. You know, we require the network of each other to be able to help each other out of that hole. Because the people that are far out of it have forgotten how
they are to succeed,
Other sounds, other voices,
and or have never seen it and hope that they never have to.
other
I wish
sounds.
those that are trying to get out of their struggle
You listen.
are the corruption itself, and that's not true. I don't believe so. Anyway, I love everybody. I love you. You are loved. Jesus loves you. There's a way forward, and I promise you, even if it's through each other one day, as long deep down inside your heart, you accept and you repent. There'll come a day, and on that day you'll know when the time is for you. There's hope it's sooner than later, because again, the time to make up your mind is never. I'm gonna wrap this up now, and I hope you all have a beautiful and blessed rest of your day. Remember to be you, be good, take care, give care, be well, and all that other fun, family, loving stuff. My brothers and sisters, my fathers and mothers, my nieces and nephews, my cousins, my grandmammies, my grandpappies, every single one of you. You are loved, and thank you for loving me too. I'll see y'all next time. Next stream will be a little bit more lighthearted, I hope. I have to start my homework. And I'm thinking maybe Mondays I'll be taking breaks from the stream to focus on homework for that week. And hopefully that I'd have like Tuesdays free again to do whatever's, and explicitly the weekends. The last thing I'd want to do is drop another or a college course. But anyway, enough about me. We'll talk about me next time. I love you.